Hi, this is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle. Today I have the opportunity to work on a reel that Bobby sent in. Bobby's a frequent channel viewer, and well, he had a problem with this reel. Needless to say, the bail spring, but more importantly, the issue is that the rotor cracked right where it would come. You can see the stud on the back of the bail. So we also went out and did some shopping, and we have the replacement spring or two. We have the replacement rotor, and we're going to see if we can't put this one back together for him. And in addition to that, we'll show you how to take apart and service the Mitchell 320. It's a freshwater spinning reel. It's been around a long time. It's a classic, and I hope you are interested in this, because if you keep these things serviced, they'll keep you fishing for a long time. Well, the 320 is kind of like a nephew to the 300. The 300 was by far the more popular one, but you didn't need that 300 for the freshwater. You certainly didn't need all of the design and engineering on it, and so Mitchell came out with a couple of different variations of the freshwater reel. This one would be on the larger side of that, but I think we just did a 204, a little bit smaller. The case is kind of teardrop in effect, and that kind of lets you know that it's a little bit different than that 300. Well, we just removed the case to show you the inside, and we're going to take these parts off so that I can remove the rotor, do the replacement, and well, just get this one back out there fishing again. If you like these kinds of videos, I want to encourage you to subscribe. If you do subscribe, please use that notification button. That'll let you know when I'm posting. You might want to take pictures along the way as you're removing pieces and parts, just so that you don't get stuck when it's time to put it back together again. This is a prime example. This is not a symmetrical case for that crosswind block. There's a high side here, if you'll notice. That's the upside. It's very easy to flip that around and make that the downside, and then wonder why you can't make your fishing reel complete the circle in the rotation. Well, let's clean this off. And I like to do the reel service for the bail off of the reel. You just don't have to wrestle with the swing arms and the gear moving and all that other stuff. So we'll do that. When I do my removals, I put them into a parts tray. I use a fast food container. I do recommend that you have a strategy for what you're going to do with the parts when it's time to remove them. Okay, let's take this off and get this back on the way it should. One of the things we're going to notice is there's some severe trauma here. This bail is out of shape. One of the things we can do is we can gently rebend the bail so that it performs properly. Right now that won't close the way it is. Okay, we're going to use a flat-bladed screwdriver here. I want to take that off so I can get the mounting screw out of this side. That usually means that you have to take some kind of a pliers to hold the other piece when it would normally be held in by the case. So we'll hold it like that. And we'll remove this side. And then what I'm going to do right now, before I go any further, I'm going to try and reshape the bail. And all you do is just a gentle compression, nothing fancy, and generally you can bend it back into shape. Okay, just as I was about to go and install the bail wire on the rotor that Bobby sent in, I noticed it's cracked too. Just put it back in, but there must be a flaw, but this one's sitting proud, and we have the cracks on the side plate. Oh well. Fortunately, I had one laying in my parts bin, so we'll use that. Let's do this again then. I'm going to take the 90-degree flat end. It's going to go away from you. Next up, we're going to grab the bail, find the hole in that bail, set this tag into the spring there, and we want to set our spring. And this one's relatively easy to set. There's some that are nightmarish. I'm going to use my screw starter. I'm going to bring that in, tighten it down. And all you need to do on this, from your bail standpoint, is clear that little pull back there, right there. So pull your piece in so that you can bring it around, and that's it. And we just need to grab this side. And remember what we did, we tried to kind of give it a quick alignment. We're off just a little bit. Getting closer, and it's malleable. It's basically just a piece of wire. So what I'm doing here, I'm just trying to get it to bounce to the position. You want to be neutral right over that slot there. Let's give this one a try. Well, if you have any questions on this reel or any reel, if you want to leave those in the comment section, I will try to answer those for you. It can be on this or about anything else. I'm just having a tough time with these small screws. That's to your benefit. There you go. All right, let's see if we can get this thing to trip now. So when you pull this up now, advance it, it's going to allow you to cast. On the back end of this, we haven't done it on here, but on the back end underneath there will be a trip ramp that's going to come around, pull this away. Get my fingers out of the way. It'll pull it away and allow that bail to flip back. Good. All right. Okay, we want to service the rest of the reel before we put that rotor back on. To do that, there's a little clip here. This is going to be part of that trip mechanism. Make sure that you get that off. You're going to notice it's got a D shape in it with a little wedge, and that's how it's going to seat into the pinion gear here. So just notice the pinion gear setup. Here's your slot right here that's going to have to face. All right, just leave that there. There's only two small parts that have to be serviced on this reel. Let's take care of those right now. I'm going to push our main gear out. Make sure your case is clean. For those of you that are trying to replace the anti-reverse dog, it's a flat spring on a bow here. There's a little V here and a little stud on the case here. That's where that's going to work. Fortunately, this case is clean. Slightest bit of dirt there. A little bit of rust or something going on the shaft. So let's take a moment here, use some steel wool. It's the polishing steel wool. It's 4O. Just to clean that up. We want to clean the faceplate of the main gear off. And I'm going to use a penetrating oil to do that. And then check the teeth in the gear. You may want to take a brush and pull through just to ensure that if there is any little dirt in there that it comes out. There's a little bit. You can see how it came on the paper towel there. So let's just take some fresh grease. You want to grease the face as well as the teeth on this. And you please use fishing reel grease only. I'm using Penn Precision Reel Grease here. And you want to make sure that you get the face greased as well as the shaft. And we can just simply bring this back in. Probably a drop of oil won't hurt on that anti-reverse dog. And make sure that your anti-reverse dog is in the off position. Otherwise you'll have some difficulty getting the main gear back in. Push that in. Always a good time. I think the handle is here somewhere. It's always a good time to put the handle on it so that you hold the main gear in place. Okay, that's in. Again, you want to do the same thing with your pinion gear that you did with the main gear. Pull it through. A little bit of grease onto the teeth. And this one you have to mount it from the inside, pushing up. Remember what I said, there's a little hole in this. You need to pay attention to that. It's important in how you service and finish the installation. This is your collar with that little hole in it. Make sure that you seat it in there. With that in, we can bring our rotor back on. Be careful not to dislodge this piece. This is got to ramp up. The bump is facing up when you put this on. Just like that. That's going to hold that trip spring assembly in place. And unfortunately, this rotor ball's got UV damage. It's common with this model. It's only a plastic bowl, and it tends to crack, I guess. Crack on the mounting positions. We saw two of those go down now. All right. Next step then, we want to take the crosswind block. Remember what we said, this is not symmetrical. The tag end belongs up. Put a little bit of grease into the slot. Mount your piece with that tag end up. Make sure that your axle shaft is clean. A little bit of grease onto it. Bring it in and aim that hole right there in the axle shaft. You need to align that with the hole in the block. And we can put the pin in. And now we can get a look at how the reel actually works. All right, we have the anti-reverses in the off position. Nice smooth operating wheel. Put it on. And that's the click that you either love or hate. All right, next step then is put the spool back on. This spool has a spacer to conserve monofilament. And let's make sure that the bail that we just set works like a charm. All right. One last piece here, put the cover back on. There's a slot for that cover. And this little leg that falls out of it. Tighten this down, and Bobby, you got a functioning 320. And you also have two rotor balls that are NG. This one will work. There you go. Well, I hope you've enjoyed that. That's a little bit of a challenge there, but mission accepted, challenge accomplished. Before I go, I want to take a moment to thank our first responders, our police, fire, safety, rescue, and everybody involved in keeping us out of harm's way. I want to thank you for watching. I want to encourage you to subscribe. Again, if you've liked this video, please do so in the comment section. And have a great day. This is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle.